Welcome back to AFT Die Season 9. It is round 4, Tuesday the 13th of May, 2025. We've got match of the round, St Kilda versus the Suns at Marvel. So it's first versus third. And they're both, St Kilda's the number one offense team and the Suns the number one defense team. Let's get stuck into it. It is Port Adelaide versus Melbourne at Adelaide Oval. And the first quarter is nearly done. And the first quarter's done. We've got Port Adelaide 3-1 to Melbourne 2-1. All right, let's get to the second quarter. So we've got Port Adelaide 5 points in front, 19-14. Second quarter has completed, and we've got Port Adelaide kicking 6-6 to Melbourne, 6-4. And at halftime, it is 7 points, the difference to Port Adelaide, 61-54. Let's go to the third quarter. So both teams are looking for another win. Third quarter completed. We've got Port Adelaide kicking 5-6 to Melbourne, 6-1. And Port Adelaide are 6 points in front, 97-91. Let's go to the last quarter of this game. Last quarter. Can Port Adelaide get on top or Melbourne? And in the end, Port Adelaide have just won by 1 point. They kick 1-2 to Melbourne, 2-1. Final scores, Port Adelaide 15-15, 105 to Melbourne, 16-8, 104. So that puts Port Adelaide in the top 4. Let's go to the next game. It is GWS Giants versus Hawthorn at Giant Stadium. Now, can Hawthorn get another win or the Giants have 2 in a row? Well, big score, 12 goals in the first quarter. Giants kicking 6-1 to Hawthorn, 6-2. Let's go to the second quarter of this game. Both teams are outside the 8. And second quarter has been completed. Giants have kicked 4-1 to Hawthorn, 5-5. And at halftime, Hawthorn are up by 11 points, 73-62. Let's go to the second half of this game. Third quarter has been completed, and the Giants, after halftime, have kicked 5-6 to Hawthorn, 1-4. And the Giants are 15 points up, 98-83. Let's go to the last quarter of this game. Can the Giants get a win, or can the Hawthorn Hawks get over the top? And the Giants have won by 4 points. They've kicked 4-6 to Hawthorn, 6-5. And the Giants' final score, 19-14, 128 to Hawthorn, 18-16, 124. All right, so the Giants have won 2 in a row. Let's go to this third game. It's Collingwood versus North Melbourne at the MCG. First quarter's done, and the Kangaroos have kicked 3-6 to Collingwood, 1-3. Let's go to the second quarter. Collingwood are down by 15 points, 9-24. Second quarter has been completed, and both teams have kicked 3-3. And at halftime, it's 15 points to North Melbourne, 45-30. Let's go to the third quarter of this game. And the Kangaroos, they've kicked 4-1 to Collingwood, 6-5. And at three-quarter time, Collingwood are in front by 1 point, 71-70. All right, this is going to go down to the wire again. And in the end, Collingwood have won by 15 points. They've kicked 4-3 to North Melbourne, 2-1. So that puts Collingwood with 2 wins in a row on top of the ladder at the moment. All right, let's go to the next game. It's Geelong versus Carlton at GMHBA Stadium. Let's go to the first quarter of this game. Carlton, they've kicked 6 goals, 1 to Geelong, 2 goals, 4. And Geelong are down by 21 points, 16 to 37. Can Carlton get their first win for the season, or can Geelong just get their third win? All right, so Geelong, they've kicked 5 goals, 2 to Carlton, 4 goals, 3 in that second quarter. And we've got Carlton up by 16 points, 64 to 48. Let's go to the second half of this game to see if Geelong can come back. And we've got Geelong kicking 4 goals, 1 to Carlton, 2 goals, 6. And Carlton, they're 9 points up at three-quarter time, 82 to 73. Let's go to the last quarter. Looking like Geelong might get over the top, but Carlton might just scrape in. No, Geelong, they've kicked 6 goals, 3 to Carlton, 3 goals, 1, and Carlton just couldn't get it done. Geelong win by 11 points. Geelong, final score 17-10, 112 to 15-11, 101. All right. So that puts Geelong in the top 4. Next game, Swans versus West Coast at SCG. First quarter nearly completed. And we've got West Coast. They've kicked 5 goals, 6 to the Swans, 2 goals, 4. And at quarter time, West Coast are up by 20 points, 36 to 16. Go to the second quarter of this game. And we've got the Swans. They've kicked 6 goals, 2 to West Coast, 3 goals, 2. And at halftime, Eagles are up by 2 points, 56 to 54. Let's go to the second half of this game. Sydney are looking for their third win. Also West Coast. Third quarter, West Coast have kicked 4 goals, 2 to Sydney, 3 goals, 6. And Eagles are up by 4 points, 82 to 78. Let's go to the last quarter of this game. Can the Eagles get on top or Sydney get the win? And it was Sydney. They've kicked 6 goals, 6 to West Coast, 2 goals, 5 in that last quarter. Final score, Sydney 17-18, 120 to West Coast, 14-15, 99. And that puts Sydney in the top 4, pushes West Coast out. Let's go to the next game. It is Brisbane versus Richmond at the Gabba. Let's go to the first quarter here. And we've got the Brisbane Lions that kicks 2 goals, 4 to Richmond, 1 goal, 6. The Lions are 4 points up, 16 to 12. Let's go to the second quarter of this game. Richmond are looking for their second win in a row. And Brisbane Lions have kicked 6 goals, 3 to Richmond, 5 goals, 2. It's 11 points at halftime, 55 to 44. Let's go to the second half of this game. Might be another close one. And we've got Brisbane. They've kicked 3 goals, 4 to Richmond, 5 goals, 1 in the third quarter. And it's only 2 points of difference. Brisbane Lions 77 to 75. Let's go to the last quarter of this game to see who will win. Be victors for round 4. And we've got Richmond getting over the top. They've won 2 in a row. So they've kicked 4 goals, 2 to 1-6 in that last quarter. Brisbane just couldn't get it done. Brisbane final score 12-17, 89 to Richmond, 15-11, 101. So that puts Richmond with 2 wins in a row after the first 2 losses. Brisbane are still in the 8. They're scraping in. They might even stay there after round 4. All right, next game, Adelaide versus Essendon at Adelaide Oval. First quarter is done. Essendon, they've kicked 6 goals, 6 to Adelaide, 1-5 in that first quarter. and he's 31 points the difference. Essendon's way, 42-11. Let's go to the second quarter of this game. And Adelaide, they've kicked 6 goals 2 to Essendon, 3 goals 2. And at halftime, it's 13 points the difference. Essendon's way, 62-49. Let's go to the second half of this game. Third quarter underway. And we've got Essendon kicking 5 goals 1 to Adelaide, 1-4 in that third quarter. And it is 34 points the difference Essendon's way. Let's go to the last quarter. It looks like Essendon's going to get the win today at Adelaide Oval against Adelaide. Yes, Essendon win by 34 points. They're the highest winning margin this round. Final score, Adelaide 13-16, 94 to Essendon 19-14, 128. All right. So that leaves us with 2 more games. Fremantle versus Western Bulldogs. Let's go the first quarter. It's Bulldogs. They've kicked 2 goals 2 to Fremantle, 3 goals 6. So Freo are looking for their 4th win on the trot. Let's go to the second quarter. Fremantle are 10 points up, 24-14. And then we've got St Kilda versus Gold Coast, the match of the round. All right, so we've got Fremantle kicking 5 goals 6 to the Western Bulldogs, 1 goal 1. Western Bulldogs, they're looking for their first win of the season. 39 points up, Fremantle, 60-21. Third quarter has been completed. Fremantle have kicked 3 goals 4 to Western Bulldogs, 1 goal 2. And it looks like the Bulldogs are not going to get this game won. So they're 53 points down. Fremantle are going to have 4 wins in a row. Fremantle win by 49 points at home. They've kicked 4 goals 6 to Western Bulldogs, 5 goals 4. Final score 15-22, 112 to Western Bulldogs, 9-9-63. Well, that puts Fremantle on top of the ladder. Game clear from St Kilda, Collingwood, Geelong, Sydney. Let's go to the last quarter. It's the match around St Kilda versus Gold Coast Suns at Marvel. The first quarter's done. We've got Gold Coast. They've kicked 3 goals 1 to St Kilda, 2 goals 2. And it's 5 points the difference Gold Coast way, 19-14. Second quarter underway. And we've got St Kilda. They've kicked 3 goals 6 to Gold Coast, 3 goals 3. And at halftime, it's 2 points the difference. Gold Coast 40 to St Kilda 38. Let's go to the second half of this last game of the round. And we've got St Kilda kicking 5 goals 2 to the Gold Coast Suns, 3 goals 3. And it is 9 points the difference, 70-61 to St Kilda. Let's go to the last quarter of this game and round. And St Kilda have won by 16 points. They've kicked 3 goals 1 to Gold Coast, 1 goal 6. Final scores, St Kilda 13-11, 89 to Gold Coast, 10-13, 73. Well, that concludes round 4. It sets up a match of the round next week, St Kilda versus Fremantle. So it's second versus first on the ladder. So it could well be a draw, or it could well be one team is going to be on top of the ladder with a game clear of the other team. Unbelievable. It's the last game of the round in round 5, Saturday, the 17th of May, 2025. We've got Essendon, the number 1 offense team, and then we've got the Suns, the number 1 defense team in the competition. And we've got Fremantle the biggest winning streak with St Kilda. So Fremantle with the minor premiership at the moment, and the Bulldogs are on the bottom of the ladder. So we've got two teams on no losses, Fremantle, St Kilda, and we've got 3 teams with no win, which is Carlton, North Melbourne, and the Bulldogs. So they've lost 4 in a row. All right, that concludes round 4. We'll see you next time.